we got Enter the Matrix. This game is just okay. As far as like Matrix games go, the games were never the series' strong suit. Like, I heard the other Matrix game on the Gamecube was much better than this one. This game was just kind of okay. But I have it. 2-disc game, of course. There's disc 1 and disc 2. No manual, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, the Matrix movies just kind of got more ridiculous and more ridiculous over time. And I haven't even seen the new one, but I heard it's... yeah. Burnout. One of the hardest games I've ever played. Like, it's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but... so intense. I spent so much time on this game. And when I eventually beat it, it was almost like I won the World Olympics. Definitely a hard game. But it's still very good, and I highly recommend you still play this one. It was also released on PlayStation 2. I know people will say, oh, they changed the music on the PS2 version and the GameCube version. No, it's the same music as both versions. I don't know where people got the idea that it had different music. And then, of course, you got play Burnout 2, which has actually some of the funniest crashing you will ever see in your life. Like, the crashing system in this game is so absolutely hilarious. And you could also use the Logitech force feedback wheel. Some of the fastest racing around, reminiscent of the greatest arcade racing games. Yeah, I would say so too. One of the last games that was ever released by Acclaim. I do have Burnout 3, and I need to get some of the other Burnouts as well. But I only have Burnout 3 on PS2. I think this was the last one that came out on GameCube, if I'm correct. But I do like the Burnout series. It's just, they're all very hard. But I do like a challenge. And here we have my favorite Mario sports game of all time. Mario Power Tennis. Oh man, this game. Lot of fun. This is actually where I first heard about Waluigi, because I had a friend over, or I went to a friend's house that had this game, and we would play this game all the time. And I was pretty freaking good at it too. I still sort of am. What was this, 2004? Wow. Time flies, I tell you. As usual, all the Mario sports games look like they're retrospective balls. But yeah, if you're going to play a Mario sports game, this is the one I recommend the most. One of the first GameCube games that was ever released, Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2. I don't have Rogue Squadron 1, but I heard that's on the PC. Super fun, very intense, featuring the voice of Dennis Lawson, the original Wedge. What does that say? Antilles? I don't know. Very fun game, very intense. I still need to get Rogue Squadron 3. Because I remember playing Rogue Squadron 3 more than I did this one. But still, it's fun. And I definitely would add this to your GameCube library. Wrestlemania X8. This game is just okay. I wish you could say it's a lot better, but it's very limited on what you can do, and there's a bunch of other wrestling games that are much better than this. It's alright, though. It was actually, I think, one of the first WWE games to have the WWE logo instead of the WWF logo. So, there's that, I guess. Yeah, create a wrestler is kind of limited in this one, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, I'd say pick it up for a small price. But I wouldn't say that's the best wrestling game ever. Namco Museum. Get to play a bunch of more old games. You get Dig Dug, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga. What was that? Pole Position and Pole Position 2. Just more arcade games on the GameCube. This time, the ones that were made by Namco. And I like the disc has Pac-Man on it, because Pac-Man is essentially Namco's mascot. I don't have the other Namco Museum game, but I still need to get that one. 007 Everything or Nothing. Gonna be honest with y'all, I haven't played this one too much. But I know for a fact that this indeed was the last James Bond game with Pierce Brosnan. I heard they slightly changed the style of the James Bond games with this one. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, it is what it is. And this isn't the only 007 game I have, because we also have one of the last roles that Mr. Sean Connery did from Russia with Love on GameCube. This was a big return to form from the GoldenEye game on GameCube. Yeah, this is a great return to form. Much better game. And to know that Sean Connery did James Bond one last time for this game brings a smile to my face. May he rest in peace indeed. He was fantastic. Fantastic actor, and I truly, in my heart, miss him. The Tasmanian Tiger. This game, it's good, but it's definitely not, I wouldn't say it's the best platformer of all time. It's still good, don't get me wrong. You get to play as an Australian tiger, Tasmanian tiger, and you know, you get to have boomerangs and shoot people with them. It's pretty good. You get to bite people too, which is a plus. And there's the disc. Yeah, I have this and the second one. I used to have the third one, but I gave that to a friend. I need to rebuy that though. Splinter Cell Pandora tomorrow. I played like maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes of this, and then I just kind of shut it off. Because, again, I like the Splinter Cell series, but like I mentioned many times, I am not great at stealth games, so you give me a stealth game and I'm going to struggle bad with it. I don't know. It's just I just never was really strategic on stealth. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not. I just kind of accept that I'm not great at stealth, but you know, I'll still play this when I get the chance, because I need to play more Splinter Cell games in my library. Robotech Battlecry. Very fun game. If you like the Robotech anime, you'll like this one. I know there's also a collector's edition that's in a big box, but I don't have that one. And quite frankly, since I'm not the biggest Robotech fan, I probably won't ever get it unless if I get it for a really cheap price. But you know how collector's editions of stuff are. I think this is actually the only Robotech game on the Gamecube, now that I think about it. Not the only Robotech video game, though. There's many out there. But yeah, Robotech Battlecry. I wish I had more to say about it, but you know. Street Hoops. NBA Jam, this is not. Which is funny, because I don't even own any of the NBA Jam series. I need to get those, for sure. But NBA Jam completely beats this tenfold. Just kind of an alright game. Oh, there's my OG memory card. And the disc, and there's the manual, but you know. I say give it a shot if you find it for dirt cheap. One of the only video games that was actually based on the second prequel to Star Wars: The Clone War, Star Wars, which is Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Kind of disappointing. You don't actually play as Anakin or anything. You play as more like what was it? Oh no! You know what? I guess you do sort of play as some of them, but it's more of like an actual shooting game. Like a first-person shooter. It is like an actual, like, adventure game, like the first game was, which is a little disappointing. The third game, actually, on the PS2, sort of fixes that problem. But I do have it. I got it for, I think, dirt cheap. I think I got it for like $6. Then we got Star Wars Jedi Outcast. Very fun game. This is sort of like one of the first Star Wars games that had nothing to do with really that I played, that had nothing really to do with the actual main movies or anything. It was sort of its own side game. It was this and Star Wars Bounty Hunter that were kind of like that. Yeah, very good game. Very underrated too. But yeah, there's the disc and there's the manual. I think it has some other stuff in there too. Does it? Yeah, it does. LucasArts. Like a thing for LucasArts. Yeah, definitely play this one for sure. It's pretty hard, but it's very fun. Ah, yes. Mario Kart Double Dash. This is the version with the bonus disc, which has playable demos. What can I say? It's Mario Kart on the Gamecube. Double the fun. And yes, it is. A lot of fun with this one. Well, I like all the Mario Kart games. So it has the like this has a lot. Like this has the special offer. Like in the other game, I gotta put this back. And of course, it's got no. Don't close on me. The manual, but it also has the game. Get rid of the shadow. It has the game. It also has a bonus disc of a bunch of demos, which some of them were like early versions of some of the games that would eventually come out, which I really enjoy. So that's pretty fun. You can find videos on YouTube showing a bunch of those extra games. Zoocube, not a great game. Actually more confusing than anything. You have this cube and you gotta put animals inside it, and it's like, I don't know. It's really weird. It's made by Acclaim, which, you know, not one of their better games from their much later era. But again, I need to replay it. And of course, this came from Blockbuster, or Blockblister, if you get that reference. Yeah, Zoocube is just... it just exists. I need to replay it though, admittedly. The Hobbit. Prelude to Lord of the Rings. Free collectible Hobbit trade card site. I'm happy to report that the card is actually in this copy. If you want a Lord of the Rings game that is really fun but challenging, and it's sort of like a prequel to the movie games, definitely play this one. It's actually a lot different, I would say, than the movie games, because since this one was based on The Hobbit pre the actual live action films, it's a lot more cartoony. So I'd say it's actually more based on the TV movie than the actual theatrical film made by Sierra. It's actually my online friend Ashley's favorite Lord of the Rings game as well. And there's Gandalf. Bunch of advertisement. It's like his information right there. Yeah. Gandalf's personal information, yeah. Let's dox him. Could you imagine? Ah, yeah, this is fun. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. This, in my opinion, is much better, and I will say this, and I will die on the hill, than Resident Evil. I know. You think that's, for me being a Resident Evil fan, that's blasphemous, but it's the truth. I think this game did a much better job than Resident Evil on the horror survival gameplay style. And it did stuff that was different. It like really screwed with your head. Like it would do stuff that was like funny, like it would turn down the volume on your TV, or it would like completely shut down your game. Not really, but it's like that was original, and it's a real shame that, you know, that we never had a sequel with this game. Advertisement for Nintendo Power. There's the manual and there's the disc. If you can find this game for a really good price, please pick this up. Way better than Resident Evil, and I will say this till the day I die. Guaranteed.